kind of, again, just kind of unfortunately out of left field for us. I was actually taking a golden setup up here. This is why risk matters, you guys. This is why, or stops matter. This was a golden setup. It was coming from the 50, right? And I was on a micro. So thankfully, I was on a micro. I got stopped out for minus 15. It proceeded to go down another 400. So respect your stops, know where risk is. And obviously now it's not a trade for us on the NQ. We're going to trade some ES. So this gives us an opportunity to trade some ES here today because the NQ is just way, way too volatile. It is too, the ATR is just too high for the type of risk that I'm willing to take anyway. So we're going to trade some micros on the ES. I always like when I have an opportunity to talk about the ES and trade the ES with you guys. And so that's what we're going to do today. Is that all right with everybody? Good job, everybody. Good job. Good job. All right. So, and there's a lot of slippage, by the way, in these stops. So if you are going to use a stop, you need to use a market stop. Do not use a stop limit. It will overlook you in this massive volatility like this, and you will get filled where they want to fill you. Okay. So make sure you use a market stop on your stops. It might help you with the slippage. Slippage, for anybody that doesn't know what that is, I'm not making stuff up. It's like this right here, right? So if you had a stop on this level, the 77, because there's so much momentum and there's so many orders coming in, you might get filled down here. You're not going to get filled where you think you're going to get filled. So, just something to consider. Now, the other thing that's happening here that has my interest is this right here. This is where if they really start to kind of like absorb some of this stuff here, we get back above this. If we can do a higher high up here and hold this, we can rotate right back up to at least 6,700. Right now, though, this is wide open. The monthly pivot in the 33 is wide open here. Wide open here. Yeah, we had we did have a couple golden setups this morning, but we're just like skipping along and doing our thing, and then boom, big bars start hitting the tape. All right, let's take a look at it here, you guys. So let me I'm going to use this chart. So we can obviously see our low is 41.5. I'm going to get short. Let's let this bar close. We are looking for the 33 below. So I'm going to get short up here. If we close below 50, I'm going to get short here. This is very aggressive because really we should be short from way above and just holding runners here. But let's see where this kind of where this bar closes. It's got another 45 seconds. So we just got to give a moment here. Yeah, when the NQ, the golden setup is a fantastic strategy. It is awesome. The problem begets itself when you have this kind of volatility. It is very sensitive to volatility. It is a probability trade. When there's something else working, like here's a 26 that just worked, right? We don't want to feel like we're bellying up to a blackjack table and we're throwing hands at this thing, $600 hands, or if you're on the micros, $60 hands. We don't want to feel like that. We want to feel like we have an edge. And when we have a big red badge up here, the ATR, that's a sure sign for us to exit, just trade. So that's when I move over to the ES. All right, so we did not get a bar close below this. We don't really have a short here yet. There's something going on here, obviously. So 56. Let's see. We might get another look at 58.5 here. And that is, so the reason I'm keying on this level, if you notice, the first time it was tested, it bounced 40 handles, right? Well, almost 50 points. This is a quarterly pivot. This dashed purple line right here is a quarterly pivot, which means This is where the last contract expired. This is where the last contract expired. The U contract. We're in the Z contract now. And this is just an overshoot of it. It overthrows it. If this turns to support, buyers could step in here, right? AD is at negative 300, which is signals a trend down activity. Whoops. We have reversed. We're not down 2%, but we are down, close to 2%. So let's watch this thing. Look how fast this is moving. Look how fast this is moving. I'll share it with you, Massimo. Hang one second here. This is a study that I will share with you now. The inputs on this study are right here. So it is going to turn yellow when the ATR is 20, and it's going to turn red when it's over 25 or over. Okay. Yeah, I can't control that. Whoops, PB. I'll throw a clock on the. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that. I will throw a clock. Ugh, the wrong thing here. Hang with me. I'll throw a clock on here. You guys can see what your lag is. It shouldn't be a minute. It should be 3 seconds max. Doesn't feel like a long yet. It's trying, but it doesn't feel like a long yet. There is not a different chart for the NQ. I do have different charts, but specifically for the golden setup. If you guys are in the golden setup, we only trade that level, or we trade the other levels in the class. So we only trade 2 levels. Do you have the golden setup chart? Anybody that's new to golden setup, do you have the golden setup chart? Let me know, okay? Whoops, sorry. I mean, it looks like I'm looking into the sky there. Dun, dun. I'll get you that widget real quick here. 1 second. A bounce might be brewing here. You guys, a bounce might be brewing. This is a Microsoft thing. The clock is a Microsoft thing. Sorry. I hate that I'm looking up there like that. Nice, Eddie. Good job. There's the clock widget. So if the lines are, so here's what the golden setup chart looks like right now. And it is going to look like this. So if you want to spread the lines out, spread the levels out, come over to the right-hand side of the chart and expand it. Hold your mouse down and you can expand it vertically like this. And then that'll separate it out. When we have bars like this, all of these levels slam on top of each other. So you just have to do that. Okay. And you can see this is telling us the GSI is saying no setup. There's no setup here. So we want to, like I said in the webinar, we want to know when we've got a green light to trade this thing, and we want to know when we need to step aside and when risk is more than reward. Right? It is a fantastic setup. It is a great trade. But there's a point of diminishing returns when you have a volatility spike like this. It's just, you're going to have to trade it a little differently. It's not that you can't trade it, but you need a lot of experience to do that. So FS, let me know that you've got your chart sorted out. I can walk you back through that again if you need to, if I need to. All right, we're trying to push back into this. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to buy. So I'm going to try a long here. Oops, let me make sure I've got my bracket set up. I'm only going to risk 5 points. I'm on the micros, I almost said Microsoft. I'm on the micros for the ES, right? So I'm the 5 handle stop is, we're risking $50 on this trade. So we're going to wait. We might end up buying it a little higher here. I wanted to try to buy 56. So I'm going to try to buy, we'll just wait a second now. If we close above this blue line, which is the 62, we'll get long against. So meaning we're going to try to get long between 62 and this 58.50 right here. I gave you that chart this morning, Lewis. I don't have a different chart. I think I gave you that chart, right? All right, I'm going to buy the 56 half here. Okay, I'm going to buy the 56 half. So let's see if we can get filled here. Now, what we want to do, this should be 51 half. What we want to do is, it came down and barely tagged it. Yeah, bounce is kind of brewing here. We've just got to be patient here. I think a bounce is brewing right now. Yeah, that was the chart I gave you this morning, Lewis. So you should be good. All right, now, so here is a situation. I do not want to chase this market, not on a long for sure. So we're going to try one try here on an aggressive long. We're going to buy 63 and we're going to use 59 as a stop loss. So I might get stopped right away here. It is possible. Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. We're going to try one more long right here at 60. And I'm going to risk 4 on this. So we want to see if this level can hold up and we want to see it get back above this level. All right. So now I've got an even stop. Let's see if it can reach up and go get a +6 up here. It might chop here before we get going. Yeah. All right. Let's just wait a second. Oh boy. We might get short. We've got no close above 62, so I'm being a little bit anticipatory here. All right. Give it one more second here. All right, I'm going to short the 60. So I'm flipping short here. I'm going to put a hard stop at 65. And we'll see if they can continue the move. Remember, we have some lower prices owed down here with the 33. So if they can seal this off here, if the bears can really, kind of get going here, I think we can get a big move here. So see if we can get a +5 on risk out. See, you see how it's really hanging right here. It's a higher low. So it needs to kind of knife down through here. We can probably tighten the stop a little bit. Yeah. All right. This is where it's got to push back. Nope. I'm gonna probably get stopped out here. All right. So this isn't working so far. So if I can take a small loss here, I will. Otherwise, I'm going to take my loss at 65. We're kind of in a little zone here now where they're trying to defend that purple line. Yeah, I'm going to get stopped out. It's all right. It's okay. All right, let's kind of regroup here because I just took 2 losses here. Hang on. They're trying. Yeah, they're trying to push it up. So I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. All right, that's our kind of our signal right there. So now we absolutely are going to try a long, not 66. We're going to try to get long, 64 here. So I think they're trying to push it up now. So what I'm using here as risk is what I want to see is I want to see a pullback no deeper than the 62. I'd like a 63 half if I could get it. If we can get on the right side, we'll repair that stuff. We will repair it. DP, it's in the golden setup room in the announcements. The GSI is in the announcements. It is something, it's part of the golden setup class. Come on. Give us our entry. It's teasing us. I think we'll get it. All right. We're going to have to end up buying 65 half here. So I'm going to buy 65 half if I can. Yeah, I mean, they can move this right back up to 77, no problem. Come on, man. Let us in. I really don't think that this turns into some big dip buy market. I think they try to push it down again by the end of the day, but we'll see. I don't know. Now they're not giving us a way in. Just got to be patient because this should retrace back towards, 65. Oh boy. They're just forcing us to chase this thing. Can't chase it, you guys. I cannot chase this. This is up 20 points without a pullback. So it's not that I'm going to sell it, but I can't chase it. So good catch on the 66. Nimona, I don't want to tell you how to trade, but when you have momentum like this in directional tapes, lock in that 4 points or how many ever contracts you had, lock that stuff in and let it run. Just let it run. I think we're going to 77 up here, so there's still a little meat on the bone, but gosh darn it. And this is vicious chop right here. Very, very, very vicious chop. Oh, James, you're saying buy the dip now. This is enough of a dip for you to buy. That's interesting. It hasn't even pulled back 2%. It feels like a lot more than 2%. And that's when we have these kind of tapes. These little pullbacks, these 2% pullbacks are violent and they feel like they're 5%. They feel like, the sky is falling. Oh, you're telling them to buy the dip. I see. All right, let's see if we get filled here. All right. So we're in the 66 now, and we want the 62 to hold here. Okay, so if we're right, we're going back up here to 77. Okay, if we're right, we're going to 77. Under 62, it gets a little dicey. Oh boy, there's our 63 that we wanted. Let's make sure we have a stop in here. I might get pushed around here. All right, let's see. So when it goes to 69.5, I will go even on this. We should get to 77 out of this trade. All right, we're even now. Let's see if we can get a +3 or a +4 rather on the trade on the first part of the trade. And if we get stopped out at even, we'll go again. As long as these candles stay above this blue line, I'm going to continue to buy it because I have a target of 77 up here. It took 2 trades to try to kind of get on. We're not even paid yet, but to kind of get on the right side here. Now, look, I mean, if they really buy the dip, if this really gets bought, we're going back to, I think we're going back to 6,700 minimum. Come on, man. Give it to us. All right, we got our +4. So now let's pull this down and see if we can get a +10. All right, so we're going to offer the contracts here at 76.5 for a +10. Okay. Yeah. This thing is still. And DP, just send me an email if you can't find it, okay? Yeah, it needs to leave a higher low here. Come on now. Okay, so we're out. Let's let this bar close. We're going to try to buy it one more time here. I'm going to try to buy 66.5 one more time. And then what we want to see here when we get filled is we want to see it move back to 70. And then on the next 70 test, we want to see it break through. Let's make sure we have a hard stop because we might get stopped out. I mean, that is possible too. It's kind of a weak reaction there. Let's see. See if we can go back up to 70 up there. We should. We got to get through here, though. We got to get through here. So now we need some 68s. Okay, we need some 68s here. And let's see if we can go get 77 up there. Nah. I got even stop on Thinkorswim. Yeah, it might take us out. Yeah, we're gonna get taken out. So they're not that serious about bouncing it yet. It's still a flag. I'm going one more time here, 63. I'm gonna buy the 63. See if the 62 can hold up here. I'm gonna give it one more shot here. That's it. One more shot. See if it can really just rip here. It should. If the 62 can hold, it should go. Yeah. Let's get out of this. This ain't working. I'm gonna put a 1 point stop here. I'm out. This is just kind of not, there's no lift to this thing right now. And I don't want this to have another big leg down here. So if we can avoid taking a -5, let's do that, right? Because that's what would have happened right here. Oh, Bears. Or oh, Bulls, I should say. The Bulls they just gave it up. All right. Well, this stinks. We should be short. I should have known better. What I hope does not happen here, you guys, is that we jam between these two. But look at that. That just came in 10 handles very quickly. You see how hard this was to lift this up? I'm going to short 58. Let's see if they're serious here. So if this should come right down and pay us right away. If they're serious, we're going to the 50 here, right? So I'm going to try to get a +6 on risk out of the trade. So we're short 58 and we got an even stop. So we're in something that's working. We're targeting the 50 down here. This might take more than one trade. It's messy right here. Going one more time. They're fighting over this level. This is where the fight is right here. All right. We might have to just step aside from this market here altogether, you guys. Honestly. Yeah. We can't trade this, you guys. There's just too much risk in this. I'm just sitting here getting chewed up. I'm down like 26 handles right now. It's not any money, but it's just back and forth, back and forth. It's trend down. It's trend down. But I'm explaining to you, I'm trying to anyway, what I'm using to gauge risk and to gauge my moves. Right. So again, this gave us a look of being long. It slid back inside of it. This is where it is potentially, this is where the battle is. But this is where potentially a higher low could come in. So this is our low of the day. This is a higher low. This is a higher low. This is a higher low. This was a higher low. They violated that. And now it's just getting really choppy right here, right? The trend starts to reverse above this, right? But just because it's a trend down day doesn't mean that we can't be nimble. So in hindsight, right? In hindsight, it was better to sell this, right? But do you remember how it was lifting up and it felt like it was just going to blast off, right? So all we can do is assign risk to this. And the way that I do that is with my levels, right? And I don't want to risk, again, I don't want to risk more than 5 points on these micros. And all it's doing is just back and forth now. And we could sit here and take 20 trades and probably get nothing done. So, we either need now, where's my pen? We either need a close below 50 or above 70. This is kind of a no trade zone right here now. And literally top ticked me right there. Stinkers. So we just have to wait. We just have to wait. Now, it didn't start out that way, Lewis. This was driven by news, right? This certainly was not a trend down day. This was a range day, and it broke the opening range in a massive, massive way. And we're just settling in right here. So let's look at it from a different point of view. This is the hourly chart. See where it's stalling here and it's doing a doji. So you actually have some balanced trade here. You have buyers stepping in here. They're not getting very far, but there are buyers stepping in here. Absolutely stepping in here. And it's right around these levels right here. So this is our little chop zone here between 56 and 62. But we just tried a short. We're near the lows, and I'm always suspect on shorting near the lows. But here's the crux of this, by the way. And the reason that I watch these right here, these purple lines on the chart, this is where the previous contract that we've been trading this year settled, right? So this was September's contract. The nearest settlement to this, because logic says if that one goes belly up, resistance, we go to this one. It's at 6,000. That ain't going to happen today, but if they seal this off, that's the logic, that we go from this quarterly pivot down to that one. So chew on that for a few minutes. And it's a coin flip here. You could justify this as a potential long to potentially go get that 77, or we can short it but we've got to take out these higher lows here. We got a clean close here below this. So we're going to try this one more time. Okay. We're going to short 56 one more time here. And we're going to see if we can go get the 50 and the 42 down there in the 33. Okay. We're short 56. We're not risking much on this. We want to see this fall away pretty much right away here. If we're right, we're coming right down to the bottom of this wick right here. If not, we're going to be getting chopped up again here. We'll try to get +4 on risk out of the trade. Yeah, they're just not serious about this. See how these candles are getting real tight now. All right, there we go. That's what we needed. All right, so now we have an even stop. We can't lose any money on this trade anymore. And we're about to get filled, hopefully. Come on now. Now let's see if we can get let's stick with our plan. We'll get a +4 if we can. So see, all we're doing is trying to find who wants to take the ball here. Are the bears going to, sellers, are they going to step in and try to go after a new low? If so, it should be from right here. It really makes it so when we get a 2-minute close underneath the 66.50. Guys, we were just trading 68.10 today, or whatever that number was. Come on, man, pay us. All right, we got a +4. Okay, we got a +4. Now, can it move down to the 46? I don't know. Let's see. We're just going to look for a, yeah, we're out of the trade. So we got +4. Not a lot. And again, what is price telling us? Outside of the advanced decline, it's sitting right on the 300 level. It's not 400. It's not -400, right? If this was down under here and deep red, then I would say that people are selling the lows. I think you have people legging into longs here. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, the 50 didn't even get a look. So it's like a little mini triangle here. And it all centers around this, you guys. I can't tell you how important this is right here. To me, anyway. And this is just the way that I trade. I'm a very visual trader. It's all about levels for me. But this, in terms of trying to catch this was a nice weekly pivot shutdown right here. But in terms of trying to catch this, I mean, you had to just hit a market order, honestly. Very hard to catch this stuff, especially in the NQ. All right, so if you guys are golden setup participants and you need charts or anything from me, shoot me an email, support@TheoTrade, put it to my attention. I'll get back to you. I am a little bit out of pocket tomorrow. I'm not going to be at my computer, but I will be working on Sunday. So if you need me, you can get me on Sunday. All right, any questions for me? Corey's coming in a few minutes here. I will get more. I'll get more aggressive on the short side underneath the 50, just because the 33 is wide open down here. I mean, we might even come down into the 26. So let's look at something real quick here. Gold is still holding 4,000. So yesterday we saw this kind of set up, but gold was coming with it, or gold kicked it off. Now gold's going the other way. So we'll see. Careful over trading all this stuff today, you guys. There's a lot of a lot of chop in here. You want to see it clear this zone here. So now the longs look more interesting up here or over here or over here, right? Don't try to figure out who's in charge right here. We've just done that. And we're walking away with minus 21 points or minus $100. I want my $5 back. Monthly pivot is 66.35, sitting right there. This is where the fight is. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? It's been a dip by market. This is a dip. Where are they at? It's Friday. So, you might get folks kind of letting go of the rope on a Friday and not wanting to really do anything here. All right. I'm going to get going. I'm going to give you guys over to Corey just a couple minutes early, if that's all right. Corey, you good with that?
Yes, sir. It's been a pretty good day for Bulls and the Bears.
Okay. I'm going to hand it over to Corey. I'm going to stop share. I don't have to make him the host. It is all yours, sir. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. I will catch you guys later.
All right. Thanks, Tony. Give about a
I
minute
do
to
need to make
transition
you the
over, but in
host.
the meantime, let me know how you're doing in today's market. Now, if you know my perspective, I'm with Tony as an intraday trader, so you barely can see the trades we had. In fact, you cannot see the trades that we had in the futures room. But we're going to stick to the bigger picture. The bigger picture is, not surprisingly, took a little longer than expected. But I've been advocating the model shows the market is overextended. We're going to talk about this and do some little swings and things like that because things are setting up right now on the, the long side. We'll see. But we got the target. We're kind of in this grasshopper and the ant where the market's overextended above that 20-day moving average. We get a pullback. We're extended above that 20-day moving average. We get a pullback. You kind of get the picture there. So we were above the 20 moving average. Again, I was a little bit shocked that the market made a new high. Was it day before on Wednesday? Model still went bear. Model